everyone! Welcome to my Summer Fruits in Watercolor series. If you're new here, my name is Emily Winslow and I love to spread the joy of watercolor to others. In this series, I will be posting a new video every Tuesday and Friday in the month of July, and in each of those videos, I will be showing you how to paint a different fruit with watercolor. For today's video, I will be showing you how to paint oranges. Not sure this counts as a summer fruit because I eat them year-round, but I do think they taste best in the summer. Let's go ahead and grab our paintbrushes and get started. Let's go ahead and start with what materials we are going to be using today. So for our watercolor kit, I like to use this Prang Oval 16 watercolor kit, super affordable on Amazon, and I have two brushes, a size 8 and a size 12. And then we've got our pencil for sketching out our painting, and of course our paper and water. You can find all these materials on my Amazon storefront link, and that is in the description. So as always, let's go ahead and start with sketching out our painting. I think this one is fairly simple. We are just mostly going to have a circle and then our half circle. So to start with a circle, I'm just going to find a few points of where we want to go. So the bottom, I'm just going to go about right there, and then our right side, our top, and our left side. So I'm just going to go ahead and lightly sketch out this circle here. And connect those dots that we just created. I find this to be just the easiest way to sketch out a circle to make it look as symmetrical as possible. Okay, and we can leave this area open because we're going to be putting our slice of orange right here. So I'm just going to do a straight line across, starting a little bit outside of our orange, and we're just going to go about midway in, and then we're just going to take that in a semicircle right under the orange. We can dip it a little bit below where our circle is here. We want the outside of our orange slice to show, so I'm going to do a double line here and just outline right where we've already made our line. Just a little bit more towards the inside. And I'm just going to stop right about here. I want the right side to be a lot thinner of a line. And then see how we have our white space in the orange? I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we leave that white. So I'm sketching out another horizontal line under where we already sketched, and then just going on the inside here. It's important to sketch out where we want to leave spots that are white or lighter in color. That way we don't accidentally paint over it. Sometimes I do that anyways and then have to go back and use like a paper towel to blot it out, which that's okay if you end up needing to do that. And then I'm just kind of making a few lines that, again, we might want to leave highlighted. And then lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and sketch out where we want our stem and leaves. So I'm just going to put that a little bit off center here. Just add it in right towards the top. And then we're just going to do a single leaf here at the top, and we're going to make that go a little bit over the orange overlap, and then bring it to a point here. And let's just add a few where we think we might need it. So I like to have paintings look pretty balanced. So I'm just adding a leaf here in between, and then let's maybe add a few down in the right corner. And then I'm just going to add one more here. All right, now that we have our sketch, I think we're ready to go ahead and start our painting. So I'm going to take my bigger brush here, and I'm just going to start light and mix up an orange with white. Again, like I always start with, I like to say that I like to start light and add on layers from there. Just much easier with watercolor when you start light. So once we have a fairly light color, let's just go ahead and spread that all around the orange here. Avoid the slice that we added. We will go to that later. And I'm also avoiding where the leaf overlaps. But other than that, we're just going all around. Okay, and then once we have that base layer, we can just add on more. So I'm taking orange, taking a darker color and going over it again. We're gonna go outside in. So I want to start on the outside with my darker colors and go lighter as we go into the middle. This will make it look like there's like a light shining on our orange, and that highlight is kind of here at that top middle. So with watercolor, if you want to blend colors, you can just take a wet brush and swipe that around. Remember that to have a well blended look, it's best when when the paint is wet. That will allow your paint to bleed a lot better. So let's go ahead and take maybe some red in here, red and orange. I like to add different colors just to add some variation. And I'm just gonna, again, just add that maybe towards the bottom here. Just around the edge. I do think this painting is one of the easier ones in my fruit series. So this is a great one to just get together with some friends and do it together. If you're looking for a group activity, I think this is such a fun idea to make something creative. Something that I feel like is easy to do, and you can put my video on mute if you want. Listen to music instead if you would rather listen to that than my voice. I will not be offended. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to take this darker color and put that towards the top of the leaf here. I don't know if you did this in art class, but I remember doing this in my 10th grade art class. You probably do it in almost every art class. Just sketching spheres and other 3D shapes, and that's really, I think, where I started to love like drawing and giving the illusion of making something look 3D. I just thought that was so cool to draw. So this one for me is just really fun. I'm just taking maybe a little bit of a brown orange color here. Again, I'm gonna keep saying it, layer, layer, layer. Going around the edge here. You know what I love that's orange flavored that I have not had in a long time are those orange popsicles that have vanilla ice cream in the middle of the orange part of the popsicle. Those are so good. And I don't know, haven't had one in a while. Maybe I'll go get one after this. And then continue to do this until you're happy with it. If you need to pause the video or rewind, feel free to do that. I'm just layering on until I feel happy with it. Sometimes that could go on forever. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this middle part is well blended into the rest of the orange. Okay, we're gonna give the main orange a little break and let that dry. We're gonna go back with shadows in a bit. So let's move on to this little orange down here. I'm gonna do the same thing and just mix up a really light color and spread that across our orange. And again, remember to avoid those little highlight areas that we sketched out. That's where sketching can really come in handy. It's your guideline to where you need to paint. I've definitely started paintings where I didn't sketch enough and just paused and went back to finish the sketching because I panicked and didn't know where I was supposed to paint because I didn't really do a good job at sketching. So it can really help you and make you feel more calm when you're painting. Going again on the bottom part of the orange here. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did for our bigger orange, and that is to keep layering on darker colors. And I'm gonna take a little bit of an orange and brown, maybe a little bit of red in here. And I'm gonna keep it darker towards the bottom of our slice here and on the edges, maybe at the top too. And I'm just gonna make some lines here where we sketched. We don't have to make them too evenly spread. In fact, we don't really want them to be evenly spread. I'm just sporadically putting lines in here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a darker orange. Again, add that on our slice. I'm going to add this on the top part of our slice here. And I'm going to go ahead and let both of those dry. We will come back to them in a moment. Let's go ahead and do our leaf. And so I'm just going to go ahead and mix up a white and green. Make a nice muted green color. And we're just going to spread that over the whole leaf here. And again, we want that to come into a point. So we're going to use the thin tip of our brush to make that point here at the end. And then we're going to do the same thing with these other leaves, just taking that light green color and adding that in. Same thing. I'm just going to go in and then we will add our darker colors over it. And for our darker green, I'm just going to mix up green and brown, maybe black. Let's go ahead and just add that in here. Go on the outside of our leaf and the bottom. I'm going to do that until we're happy with how that looks. And let's go ahead and do the same thing on our other leaves. Adding this around the leaf. I don't want to cover the whole thing with our dark color because we want to make sure that we have variation in color. And I want to add a little of a middle line through some of these leaves. And then let's do the same thing on our corner leaf. Let's go ahead and do the stem that's in the middle of the orange. I'm just going to take a brown, a light brown, and go ahead and make a diagonal line here. And then just take like a black and brown to make a darker color. And just go on the left side of the stem here, very lightly, to add a little bit of a shadow. And what we're going to do also is to extend it a little bit around our base here. So go ahead and just take that brown and just add a little bit of, I don't know, what is this called? The orange, I think it's called the navel, orange navel. I don't really know, but it's that part where we have the stem in the orange. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just revisit my orange a little bit. I want to take a little bit of an off-white color, so I'm just gonna take my white and I'm just gonna take that a little bit in my white area of my orange. I didn't want it to be completely white. I'm just adding that in a bit. And then I'm going to take a purple and brown, maybe black. Basically, I just want some darker colors to continue going around our orange here. I'm just adding that in right under our slice and at the bottom, adding more to our shadows. So just go ahead and go on the edge of our orange here. And this will probably be the last time we layer over the orange. Don't want to go too overkill with our shadows because then it might muddy the watercolor a little bit. I have done that before where I've just added too many layers. So it's important to kind of know when to stop. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take that darker color and let's go ahead and go on the bottom of our orange slice here. And let's go ahead and I'm going to take some color on the inside of our orange and just go along the rim, but I don't want the line to be even. I'm just adding some areas that are thicker than others. You see what I mean? Some areas I am adding colors and other I'm kind of avoiding it. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more to the lines. I'm making some of these lines go all the way down and some that are kind of more just dotted. And then I'm just going to again take our orange and add that into the top part of the slice here. Now the very last thing we're going to do is add our little shadow at the bottom. So go ahead and just take your white and just make it an off-white color. So I usually do a little bit of purple or brown. Just to add that in here. So we're just avoiding the orange and going underneath the leaf. Adds a little bit here. Makes it look like the orange is sitting on something. And feel free to stop whenever. You don't have to do this part. If you're just happy with how the orange looks without the shadow. And I'm just adding a bit more color in here. I really like to add in some purples or maybe blue. And I'm just taking a wet brush and spreading the color around. And the last thing I'm going to do is just take an even darker color like black and take that in under the leaf. Oh, it's blending a little too much, so I'm going to take it up. We're just going to add that in under the orange. And we are all done painting our orange. I hope you join me for my next video. I hope you all enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about how to paint oranges with watercolor. If you're following along on this challenge, I'd love if you post your art to social media and tag me at Watercolor with Emily. I'd love to see your work. In my next video, I'm going to be showing you how to paint one of my favorite fruits, mangoes. So if you're looking forward to that video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel to be the first to watch it. And as always, you can find me on social media at Watercolor with Emily or my website, watercolorwithemily.com. Until we paint again next time.